Hey, how's it going? Um, Happy Thursday to everybody. I'm in a new location for today's Thursday session here at my apartment in San Francisco, not the office today. Hopefully everybody's week is going well. I am going to wait a minute or two for more people to join. I realize it's end of the workday right before holiday weekend, so I'm sure people are rushing to get things done at the office or at home, wherever you're working from. In the meantime, if you guys are new to these sessions, what I do is I think this is number 9 or number 10. Every other week, I pick a market or city that groups that we're working with have been interested in co-buying in or are actively co-buying in. So I believe last week I did Miami. Prior weeks, I think I did Dallas, Austin, Denver, Charlotte, or Raleigh. So I've kind of been all over the place, even went to Algonquin, Maine. Today we are doing Sevierville. So people have been giving me all the pronunciations. Apologies if I mess it up. Sevierville. And we're going to take a look at homes that are for sale, and I'm just going to call it Sevierville for this session. You can put whatever accent you want on top of that in your head. So yeah, if you're new to this, there's a chat in Demio. I'll put something in there right now. Hey, where are you joining from? I always like to know where people are joining from, what city you're currently in, and then what kind of home are you looking for? And then I can tailor the session to that. So if you're looking for a short-term rental, like you and your group want a place that you can Airbnb and make revenue from, maybe use it a couple times out of the year, or if you want strictly a long-term rental, so a traditional renter and it's more of an investment property, or if it's a vacation home and you don't want to rent it out, you can let me know those things. Typically, I do like a hybrid, and I evaluate the market based on if you want a short-term rental it, but you also want to use it part of the year as well, because that's a fairly popular use case that we have. So I'm going to start how I normally start. Where in the hell is Sevierville? Sevierville. It is in Tennessee. It is at the kind of the entrance to the Smokies. You can see it's pretty far from Nashville, and it's decently close to Knoxville, which is pretty cool. But you can see as we zoom in, here are the Great Smoky Mountains, and this is one of the main routes in. You can see Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. So if you haven't heard of Sevierville, it is on the way to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, which have been getting more and more popular. And COVID really helped those towns kind of explode and get even more popular than they already were getting, as people kind of return to nature and want to get outside, get to the Great Smoky Mountains. So Sevierville is on the way to those two, and might offer actually a discount in terms of home price, in terms of what you can find in terms of deals, because it's outside Gatlinburg, it's outside of Pigeon Forge. So I am going to, before we look at homes, we're going to look at short-term rental regulations. So I do some cursory research on the market. Don't take what I say as gospel. You're going to want to click into some of these links and do your own homework. But from what I found, Sevierville, STR is widely permitted, which is nice. They do have an application process, and it's a pretty thorough application process, but they make it super easy. This is kind of a small screenshot, but this is one of the easiest, like slickest applications I've seen that any city offers for submitting an application for short-term rentals. It's kind of this cool, really simple step-by-step process, and they have the links in each step. They even include their zoning map, which, if you are familiar with looking at zoning maps or even finding them on a government website, is hard enough. but largely STRs are permitted, or new STRs are permitted. There are some zoning restrictions. You have to click into the map, but they'll tell you if it's permitted or not, which is nice. And the only other thing that stood out is that the city notifies neighbors within a 100-foot radius of the home that you want a short-term rental. And I believe there's like 3 weeks for those neighbors to formally write in an objection, which they review. But there's the application link. It goes to this slick application site. And then Pigeon Forge, which we saw on the map, it's closer to the Smokies, to the entrance to the Smokies. It also allows new STRs pretty broadly. R1 zones that are designated on their zoning map do have, I think, some more restrictions to the application process. So that was a little unclear, but I included the application link in the zoning map as well. But in terms of looking at this area, it looks like it's good for new short-term rentals. So if you want to Airbnb or VRBO the place that you're looking to buy, this is a great place. So you can evaluate it on that basis as well. So getting to Sevierville, if you're thinking about, hey, a lot of tourists are going to the Smokies, and that's one of the major entrances. If you're not living in Tennessee or the surrounding areas, you're most likely going to fly into Knoxville, and then it's a 30 to 40-minute drive from Knoxville to get there. And then if you're driving from Nashville, which seems like the closest major, like somewhat major metro, it's a 3.5-hour drive from Nashville. I think from Asheville on the other side of North Carolina, it's like an hour and a half, and you have to drive through the Smokies. It's kind of windy to get there. But all in all, looks pretty promising in terms of short-term rentals. I am going to make sure I share the right tab and share our platform so we can look at listings. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Cool. So I'm on Nestment's site. All of this is available to you for free. So if you have not made an account, go ahead, make an account. It's free. We pay for and use a ton of data that you would have to pay a lot of money, thousands of dollars per month to get. We include that in our Nestments to show financial projections and what a home could make as a short-term rental, what it could make as a long-term rental. So go ahead and leverage our platform because you're not going to be able to find this information or this data anywhere else without paying a significant amount of money. So I'm zoomed out here on Sevierville, and I'm going to go under the assumption that we're looking for like a short-term rental, but a place that we would want to use a couple weeks out of the year as well. So I'm going to put 2 beds, 2 baths, and then I'm going to put a price. I'm going to put an upper limit at $500,000 because I don't want this breaking the bank. And then I'm going to put a minimum. It feels like anything under $150,000 is probably going to be a mobile home or a trailer or something that needs a ton of work that I'm not really interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and put those parameters in, or those filters on. And it looks like this is all new construction. If you see photos that are computer generated and the same, it's most likely new construction. So I want to get into some of these listings that are currently on the market, currently built. So I'm going to go ahead, take a look at this one right here. This one is 412 Kingfisher. So it's $439,000. And these rates of return and net operating income we show on this search page are for long-term rentals. And I'm curious about short-term rentaling it. So I'm going to click into the listing and click the short-term rental toggle. And now I'm going to see the rate of return that I can expect, the net operating income, the depreciation as a short-term rental. So let's say I have 2 people in my group, me and a friend want to go in on this place. I mean, it looks really cool. Like it just got remodeled inside. Looks like you could Airbnb it pretty immediately and it photographs super well. I love the wraparound porches. I mean, the bathrooms look killer. This could be a prefab home. I'm not sure. So keep that in mind. But it is 4 beds, 3 baths, which makes it pretty killer in terms of a vacation or an Airbnb. So I'm going to go down here and explore this in terms of its financial projections. So say me and a buddy want to go in on this place, and let's say we do 10% down. Our all-in upfront costs for each person are about $28,000. So that's our down payment and our closing costs. But the 5-year equity that each of us can build within 5 years is almost $80,000. So that's taking into account our mortgage payment. So we're paying down our loan and we're accruing equity. And then the home is also appreciating at about 4%. In addition to that, we're going to make about $3,700 from this on Airbnb, and we can expect all of our monthly costs to be $2,800. So our Airbnb VRBO revenue covers all of our monthly costs, which is awesome. Plus, it gives us each like $900 in cash on top of that. So mortgage is paid for, plus we get cash on the side. Plus this place appreciates 4% a year. This is a pretty awesome spot. If we scroll down, we can see that the average daily rental rate that this goes for throughout the year, on average, it's about $400 a night. And I think that's because it has 4 bedrooms, so you can host a lot of people. And then 61% of the year, 61% of those nights, it's going to be rented on Airbnb or VRBO. So this is awesome. This is one of the higher occupancy rates I've seen since I've been doing the market analysis. So it's kind of proving that the Smoky Mountains area is super popular. This place is also 3,200 square feet, so pretty killer too in terms of the amount of square footage that you're going to get. So even though this one is in contract, I'm going to save it to my Sevierville, Tennessee list and click out. So already a great prospect. Even though it's in contract, it gives you an idea of what's out there, what's available. Let's see what this place, okay, so this is like an apartment or townhome. Let's go to one of these that I've saved because I did some initial investigation. I mean, this place is well under $300,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, and I'm going to short-term rental it. And you can see that my monthly rental revenue is $5,200, but my my monthly costs, so mortgage and all my operating expenses, are only $3,500. So let's say I have a group of 2. I mean, the difference between our revenue and all of our costs, we're each making like $900 again a month, and all of our expenses and mortgage are paid for. If we did 10% down, our all-in upfront costs for each of us is only about $17,000. So this place, I mean, is kind of a little gem. Like it looks amazing. It looks like very Airbnb-able. Yeah, it looks like it has all the amenities that I'd want. Again, I don't know the bones of this. This is why a realtor in this area is super valuable. It's kind of a remote area, so having a local agent is going to be crucial because I'm not flying out there from San Francisco or New York or wherever it is that you live, Atlanta, Nashville, to go see this in person. So yeah, this is a great little gem, such a great little investment property for under $300K. Yeah, it's going to cash flow for you super nice. It's going to have a 3.7% appreciation per year. So your equity that you're building over 5 years is going to be around $46,000 for not a huge upfront investment. If you're a first-time home buyer like you and your friends are, I mean, there's these little gems in Sevierville which get me really excited. Here, I'm going to go down to some of these other ones that I had saved. This one's under $400,000. 3-bed, 2-bath, but significantly bigger than that last one that we looked at. This is almost 2,000 square feet. I'm going to click into short-term rental. It's probably going to be looking about the same in terms of the financial projections because it's same bed, same bath, but your mortgage payment is going to be more per month because it's a more expensive home. So it looks like your monthly rental revenue is going to be $2,800 and all of your costs, including mortgage, are $22,000. So you're going to have $600 in each of your pockets. The appreciation expected to be 3.9%, so slightly more. It could be this specific area of Sevierville has a slightly higher appreciation. But yeah, if we click into some of these photos, I mean, I love these porches. This looks like it has a decent chunk of land. Also looks like it's has some newer renovations. I mean, you can kind of see staged versus unstaged. I mean, I could see this place doing really well on Airbnb or VRBO, and it looks like a place that I would want to go stay at personally if I was going to the Smokies. I mean, that picture should be their profile or their main hero photo. That porch is excellent. So again, another great opportunity under 400K here. Let's go to this one that is 400K. It's just it looks like it's on the same street, but just further down the street. So this looks like a duplex. I mean, I love the jacuzzi, and that sunset is pretty awesome. But it's only 2-bed, 3-bath, way less square footage than the place that we just looked at. So honestly, I mean, it seems like a lot, 400K for way less square footage and one less bathroom than this place that's right down the street. For 40K less, one more bathroom, a heck of a lot more square footage. So that's something to evaluate. Let's go and see. I'm going to show you my groups because I created a group for Sevierville and saved some homes that I really liked. So I'm going to go to my groups, Sevierville, and then save listings. Let's check out some of these cooler ones. This one looked like a little more like mountainy, a little more tucked away, which made me interested in it. I mean, it's super small. It's only 600 square feet, 1 bed, 1 bath. But if you're really into being like more nature, more cabiny feeling, I mean, there's some cool places up here. 1 bed, 1 bath typically doesn't do as well on Airbnb and VRBO because you have a limited amount of guests. I think it's like 2 or 3 guests that you can probably have here at the max 4, but looks really cool. I mean, you can see the average daily rental rate is only $160 compared to some of those other ones we looked at with more bedrooms that were $400. So if you do want the cabiny vibe, there are some cool little places. Let's take a look at this one. Again, this one's only 1 bed, 1 bath, and it's over $400,000. But it does have that cabiny, like more in the wilderness vibe. So if you're really into this look, like dead set on cabin woods, there are options here that are so cool. And if you go to short-term rental tab, we'll say you and 1 friend, and again, 10% down. You can see the monthly rental revenue, $1,700, and all of your costs per month are $2,000. So you're not going to cover your mortgage and all of your expenses, but you're going to cover a good chunk. You're going to be out $300 a month, but you get to own a really, really slick cabin in the Smokies and use it. Yeah, you can see it's only $160 per night on average that you can charge for it. And your mortgage payment per month is going to be more because this home is more expensive. Let's go down, see if we can find another really cool one. These are a little more modern, a little more expensive, so they're probably not gonna cash flow as much. I mean, but they're so cool. Probably have, because this looks like newer construction, probably have a lot less issues than some of those older homes. You get kind of the same cool cabiny feel, but you're going to pay for it. I mean, $540,000 for 1,000 square feet is a lot, in my opinion, in this area. But if you need like these amenities and this niceness and very low maintenance, this might be an option for you. So again, let's go to the short-term rental toggle. 2 people, 10% down. It looks like you're going to be bringing in around $2,300 a month if you Airbnb or VRBO it, but you're going to be paying $2,500 between your mortgage and expenses. So again, it's not going to cover everything, your revenue, but it's going to cover a big chunk, and you're going to be paying $300 a month to own this home, accrue a ton of equity over 5 years, and have an awesome place that you can go use. This is great if you need some of those amenities that we talked about. Let's take a look at this place. This looks really cool. I can't tell if this is an actual house. It looks computer generated. Yeah. So I don't know if this home is built yet or if this is just for partial construction. So you can see computer generated. This is what it currently stands at. So I don't know if this actually needs more money to complete. Maybe somebody stopped construction on it. So we'll have to dive in a little bit deeper. You can always go to more about the listing. This is this partially lot or cleared lot. Splendid. Doesn't say schedule your visit today. Maybe on the MLS listing, which you can click, it will say if it needs to be fully finished, but it does not. So we're going to skip this one just because I'm not sure if it needs more construction, more money to dump into. Let's take a look at this place. So this is by far the most expensive place that I saved from Sevierville, but it's 3,700 square feet. That's massive compared to those 1,000 square foot cabins we were looking at. It's 4-bed, 4-bath, huge yard. I mean, that tree, the views, this is a pretty awesome place. So maybe you add another person to your group. Maybe you go in on it with 3 people. Let's take a look at this as a short-term rental. 3 people, 10% down. It looks like your revenue is going to cover all of your costs, including your mortgage every month, which is cool. And you have $200 in your pocket. And the equity built is going to be about $75,000 per person in your group over 5 years. If you had 3 people in your group, you'd each need to come up with around $26,000 for this place with 10% down. So if you do have the money for this down payment, I mean, 3,700 square feet is tremendous. Obviously, more maintenance, more upkeep with a bigger property. But if maybe you have kids, and like you and your wife have friends that also have kids, this could be a really cool place where 2 families could have a vacation home together. You know, both couples have their own bedroom, both kids have their own bedroom, both sets of kids, tons of room outside. Looks like it still does need work. Inside, I don't know if this is before and after. It looks like this is as is, so would probably need to paint things and just make sure, check with a really good local realtor, because this looks like an older home, that it has like a nice foundation, that there's nothing majorly wrong with it. That's always the issue when it comes to older homes like this. Beautiful, but could have more skeletons in the closet. So this is a place I saved if you're, if you're a couple and have kids and have another couple that's your friends and they have kids, that seems like it could be a cool option because it has 4 bedrooms. I'm just going to check in with the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I did not miss anything. And then at this last one I want to look at, this was the one that was in contract. This was the 4-bed, 3-bath. So even if you don't see your perfect home in Sevierville that's for sale right now, this is a great place to start a group and start saving listings, because there are some really great gems that will pop up that will be in your price range. This is probably one of the best markets that I've done an analysis on so far. If you are on the East Coast or you're on the Southeast Coast or living in Nashville or maybe Chicago or Ohio, this is a great little city, a great little area if you want to get into real estate as an investment. There's some homes under $300,000, definitely under $400,000 that aren't going to break the bank. Again, I say that coming from California, so I realize it's still a lot of money, but these opportunities just don't exist on the West Coast, which makes me very jealous. I wish I was kind of more on the East Coast because I would gladly pop down for a weekend, check out the town, and maybe set up some like open houses with a realtor. So if you are new to the Nestment platform, go on our website, nestment.com, create an account, create a group, invite some friends. You can invite friends under members, and then you can start saving listings together. If you are really interested in starting to learn more about co-buying or working with us through a co-buy roadmap, you can always schedule a call with a relationship manager. Emily, she's with you every step of the way, from lending to legal to finding an agent and bidding on a home. Yeah, you can go into your group dashboard, schedule a call, multiple places to do it. We make it super easy. Emily's great. Or you might get matched with our co-founder Niles, who's working with groups too. But other than that, another great city. Makes me wish I didn't live in California, so I was closer to some of these places. But have a lovely holiday weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, join me in 2 weeks. We'll be looking at another market. I don't know which one yet, but stay tuned. We'll send you emails and let you know where we're going to check out. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good weekend.